What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is John. Today we're going to be comparing the Google Pixel 3a, the best buy of 2019, to the iPhone XR, a budget flagship model offered by Apple. The Google Pixel 3a starts at $399. You can pick it up at really any retailer for about $425. I just so happen to pick mine up at Best Buy. And the iPhone XR can be had for $749. Or if you feel like taking a little bit of risk and taking a little bit of chance, you can get one off the Facebook Marketplace or online used for around $450. Both phones that I have in front of us are unlocked on all carriers. Both are utilizing a Verizon network though. So 4G LTE on both of them. Both have 64 gigabytes of memory. So we're looking at the base model for each respective device. The iPhone XR has a 6.1 inch 528 by 1792 pixel display. The Google Pixel 3a has a 5.6 inch, so a little bit smaller, 1080 by 2220 pixel display. The reason why I bought the iPhone XR to compare it to the Google Pixel 3a is because both have very similar cameras. Both also tout software features and algorithms to enhance their single cameras. So if you actually look at the iPhone XS and XS Max, they do have dual facing cameras, dual rear facing cameras, and in order to compensate for not having dual cameras, the iPhone XR uses a lot of software features. In order for the Google Pixel 3a and respectively the Google Pixel 3 to keep up with other phones on the market, other high-end phones on the market, they also utilize a single camera with a plethora of software features like night mode, portrait mode, which you can add bokeh effect, pop, and other features. So both phones have very similar cameras software-wise and spec-wise. The iPhone XR has a 26mm lens, so it's a little bit wider of a sensor to allow more light in, as where the Google Pixel 3a is a little bit more cropped in at 28mm. And actually, when I do the camera comparison later this week, you will absolutely positively see the difference. Nonetheless, both are 1.4 dense, have phase detection autofocus, optical image stabilization, and have an aperture of f1.8. So like I said, very similar, and of course those software features make them, again, very similar. So that's the reason why I wanted to buy the iPhone XR, is to compare it to the Google Pixel 3a. Nonetheless, today we're going to be doing just a basic head-to-head, basic comparison of the two devices to see really how our best buy of 2019 stacks up to other phones on the market. So our Google Pixel 3a, we're going to break this comparison down into two categories. I'm going to break it down into a features category and an intangibles category, and we'll get to the intangibles part in a second. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and start with the RAM. The Google Pixel 3a actually comes with 4 gigabytes of RAM and the Snapdragon 670, so it comes with 1 gigabyte of RAM more than the iPhone XR. However, the Snapdragon 670 is a pretty mid-level processor. The highest rated Snapdragon processor you can currently get in an Android device is the Snapdragon 855 Plus. Most phones on the market running the highest Qualcomm chipset do have the Snapdragon 855. Nonetheless, they are the most powerful you can get, making the 670 pretty mid-range. The iPhone, on the other hand, has 3 gigabytes of RAM, so 1 gigabyte of RAM less, though it does manage software and applications effortlessly. Both phones actually manage software and applications effortlessly. Nonetheless, you get the Apple A12 Bionic chip on the iPhone XR, which has the integrated neural processing engine, which is also used in that camera. So it's used to detect your face and add the bokeh effect for very accurate depth control. All in all, the A12 Bionic is a far superior chip to the Snapdragon 670. On the iPhone XR, we get 2,942 milliamp hour lithium ion battery, and on the Google Pixel 3a, a 3,000 milliamp hour lithium polymer battery. A little bit different. I would say that the battery runoff on both devices is very similar, though one aspect to note is that out of the box you do get 25 watt fast charging with the Google Pixel 3a. So in about 15 minutes of charge, Google is saying you can get up to 7 hours battery life. Now, I have tested that claim out and haven't really seen the 7-hour mark, though it can be achieved if you turn battery saver on and use your phone sparingly. But I will say that the fast charge is a very welcome feature. I can normally charge the phone up full in about an hour and 15 minutes or so. Out of the box with the iPhone XR, you do not get fast charging, though one added benefit of the iPhone XR over the Google Pixel 3a is the fact that it does come with wireless charging. One downside to the iPhone XR is no USB Type-C. You do get USB Type-C on the Google Pixel 3a. So, you know, Google's motto with the Google Pixel 3a is more for half the cost. The motto for the iPhone XR is brilliant in every way, I think. So both are oriented towards taking on flagship phones for little cost, though I think you're getting a little bit more value with the Google Pixel 3a. On the front of the phone, you get a 7 megapixel f2.2 32mm camera and Face ID with support for Animoji and Memoji on the iPhone XR, as where on the front of the Google Pixel 3a, you get an 8 megapixel f2.0 24mm wide angle. The front-facing camera on the iPhone XR is capable of 1080p at 60 FPS video recording, as where the video recording quality on the Google Pixel 3a is rated at 1080p at 30 FPS. Now, both phones do have video capability. The Google Pixel 3a is capable of 2160p at 30 FPS, 1080p at 30, 60, or 120 FPS, while the iPhone XR is rated at 2160p at 20, 40, or 30, or 60 FPS. What's really nice about the iPhone XR is it does come with stereo recording. The Google Pixel 3a does not come with stereo video recording. The Google Pixel 3a does come with a headphone jack, as where the iPhone XR does not. However, one major trade-off between the two is that the iPhone XR is IP67 certified and the Google Pixel 3a is not.
Okay, so this next segment is going to be intangibles. Now, there's a few things that I want to place in intangibles that you might consider specifications, like Face ID and Touch ID, but we're going to be talking about Face ID in intangibles because really people choose between Touch ID and Face ID just depending on what they like better. But since I am going to use my own subjective opinion, I'm going to place it in intangibles. And I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying that Face ID on the iPhone XR is super fast, super convenient, and extremely easy to use. The Touch ID sensor on the Google Pixel 3a is good. It's fast, it works as intended. It's just not as accurate as Face ID. You always have, Face ID sort of adapts to the way you look. It adapts to what you're wearing. Touch ID does not. You know, if you have a sweaty finger or if you've got some gunk on your finger or some oil or whatever, it's not going to work. Or if you've placed your finger in the wrong position, it doesn't work. Now, you can make the same argument for Face ID, but I mean, basically, if you're not looking at your phone, you're not using it anyway, right? So therefore, I'm going to give Face ID this first intangible to the iPhone XR. The second intangibles that I would like to talk about are the ecosystem. Both have actually a great ecosystem, but I'm also going to give this ecosystem intangibles to the iPhone XR because you have access to Apple's ecosystem and you have access to all those other products that you have access to with the Google Pixel 3a or really any Google Pixel device with the iPhone XR. So think Sonos Bluetooth speakers, headphones, earbuds, you name it. You have access to all of those things with the iPhone XR.
All in all, the Google Pixel 3a can go head-to-head with the iPhone XR, not in terms of processing power, but I think it can go head-to-head in terms of camera capabilities. It can go head-to-head with the iPhone XR in pricing. You're getting really a lot with the Google Pixel 3a at $399 as compared to $749 with the iPhone XR. Getting a similar amount of RAM, a similar battery. You're getting a better display with the Google Pixel 3a. It's a little bit smaller at 5.6 inches compared to 6.1 inches on the iPhone XR. But you are getting an AMOLED 1080p display on the Google Pixel 3a. The build construction is better overall on the iPhone XR, though there are some instances where the Google Pixel 3a takes the advantage, such as when I'm working out or when I'm taking a walk around the neighborhood. I simply prefer the Google Pixel 3a because it just is lighter. There isn't that added bulk or heft that you get with the iPhone XR. Okay guys, so that was just a basic rundown comparison between these two devices. Nonetheless, the Google Pixel 3a is the best buy of 2019. That is how it stacks up against the iPhone XR. It can really go head to head. Really, choosing each device is a matter of personal preference. It's a matter of what operating system you want to use and how much money you want to spend. My name is John. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next video.